I guess this is as good a time as any to go over this.
Yeah, let's do it.
uh,
Let's dig in. We have to understand this.
so there's two APAs. There's the American Psychiatric Association and the American Psychological Association.
Mhm.
Okay. The Psychiatric Association is the organization that writes the DSM.
Prescriptions and the
they're
DSM.
they're psychiatric doctors. They involve more medicine, writing prescriptions, et cetera, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera.
Brain chemistry and shit.
Right. Okay. Their definition of gender is completely different from the other APAs. Their definition is that their definition of gender is more colloquial. Okay, it's the one that we've been kind of using in this conversation. That gender is that sex is like your genitals and your internal sexual reproductive organs, and gender is, you know, things that are considered masculine, feminine, certain gendered traits in terms of behavior in your brain, and gender norms associated with culture and biology. Okay.
Mhm.
So the American Psychiatric Association uses a definition of gender, which is the one that we all generally think of when we hear gender.
Mhm.
Okay. Does that make sense?
It's interchangeable with sex?
No. What?
Okay. No? Oh, okay.
Okay. You're not with me. Okay. The APA. Let me say it one more time.
Psychiatry. Yeah.
The Psychiatric Association of
I
America.
followed you that far. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
They say sex is basically just your genitals and your
Correct.
sexual reproductive organs.
Right.
Okay.
Which
and
is
that
crazy
gender,
because there's like your eyes and your parasympathetic nervous system and your pain receptors and like all this other
okay, but
stuff.
they consider all the things you're talking about, the APA, the psychiatric one, considers those as gender differences. Not sex differences, but as gender differences.
Okay, so that's bonkers, but anyway.
Okay.
I can take
but
it.
But that's the more colloquial way in which people use the term gender.
Right.
Okay. So they're more aligned with the way people generally use the term.
Right. Okay. Men like sports. That's gender.
Right. But also that men on average are more aggressive.
Yeah, there you go. That's aggression.
Yes. Okay. So they would say, let me see if I actually can find the actual. I have the actual definition saved on my computer. I've looked at it so many times.
Isn't that funny that men are more aggressive seems like a super gendered thing, and Vosh, who's probably one of the most aggressive people
I know
on YouTube.
So actually no. Okay.
Is a gender abolitionist.
So I'm explaining this a little incorrectly. So let me read you the actual. Let me read you their literal definition.
I was right. You were wrong.
No, you were not right. So they say gender is used to denote the public and usually legally recognized lived role as a boy or girl, man or woman, but in contrast to certain social constructionist theories, biological factors are seen as contributing and in interaction with social and psychological factors to gender development.
Bang! That's basically my definition.
That is not your definition, but that's fine.
Okay. Why is it not my definition?
What was your definition? I already forgot your definition.
No, go ahead. Continue.
I already forgot your definition.
I'm just saying that there's a biological component and a social component.
Sure, I've never denied that.
The social component is not as elastic as the social constructionists believe.
Right.
And the biological component is not as inelastic as many gender traditionalists believe.
What the American Psychiatric Association, they basically say like, okay, gender is, I guess it does more align with part of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gender aligns with how society views you as a man or a woman.
Yeah, totally.
But that a lot of that is based in biology, not just the social construction. Okay. And things that are considered manly or female. So as you said, liking sports, right? Considered manly. Okay.
God, right? I hate sports.
I know. We're both, I guess neither of us are very manly in that regard.
I know.
Okay. Anyway. So that's the American Psychiatric Association definition. It's more confusing. It's more vague, but I believe that is usually more how other people conceptualize gender, the average person. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The American Psychological Association has a completely different definition. They say that gender only applies to gender differences that are socially constructed.
Gender differences that are socially constructed.
Or categorized as gender.
So they're taking the biological component off the table completely.
Right, but this is where
Why
it gets
would you
very
do
confusing.
that?
This is where it gets super confusing for people. They don't deny that there are not sex differences in terms of the way people behave or act. They just classify them as sex differences.
Oh my God. Well, that's convenient.
So, for example, right now we would say that men liking or boys supposedly liking the color blue and girls liking the color pink is a social construct. There's no biological evidence that that's innate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the psychological APA would say that that's a gender difference. But if tomorrow they do an experiment and they find out, no, actually, there's some innate predisposition for boys to like the color blue based on the cones in their eyes.
Yeah, whatever.
And there's some predisposition for girls to like the color pink because of the cones in their eyes. They would suddenly say, oh, well, that color difference is no longer a gender difference. It's now a sex difference.
Okay. I could see that. That works.
Right. So, but that's why part of this conversation is so confusing. Is that all these different organizations have very different ways of conceptualizing and defining the term gender.
Well, the first time I encountered this stuff, talking about this with feminists, they separated very clearly that sex was the biological component and gender was the social component, which made sense. I'm like, okay, if we're gonna go down that path, I'm here. I'm ready.
Right.
Let's have our conversation.
Right.
Yeah. The problem is they keep conflating this shit.
Well, the problem is I'm fine with adapting the APA psychological definition of having gender only mean the social aspects. The problem is that the people who are pushing for this in these sorts of conversations want to throw everything into the social.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That makes it difficult. Yeah.
That's the problem that's happening here in these conversations.
They want to say, why you feel disgusted? That's social.
Right. And so it feels like the argument they're making is not one that's good faith.
No one taught Sitch to be disgusted by pineapple on pizza, okay? It's innate.
That's true. It is.
Nobody,
that's 100% innate.
Nobody came out and taught him that.
Pineapple on pizza? Disgusting.
Yeah. I love it.
on pizza? Even more disgusting.
Well, we're in agreement on that one. The pineapple, no way. I'm not. Pizza's not even worth having if it doesn't have pineapple on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see? That's disgust. That's the biological component right there.
Horrible.
Yeah, you obviously were not treated with sweet, sugary cereals when you were a kid. You weren't socialized that everything should be sweet like I was.
Well, actually, that's a quote unquote gender/sex difference that's believed to be biological. Men are more likely to want savory, salty foods, and women are more likely to want sweet foods.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
You're losing your masculinity every second, Adam.
All that soy milk I've been drinking.
All that soy milk is getting to you. It's changing you.
You know what? I like some sweet Lucky Charms with some soy milk all over it. Nom, nom, nom. How about that?
There you go.
Guess what? I don't even care if you know.
Components of snart exclusively. So wait,
you're asking why people want. Wait, you're asking why people want things. Why does somebody want? Why do you think that the only reason that say like somebody could want to get ripped as fuck is only social, or do you think they could just be like, hey, I think I look good this way, and I want
look good how?
Why would you think you look good?
Look good look good. Sure. What's the purpose of looking? You're getting so close. You're getting so close. You're so close to just saying it. Just say it. Say it.
Want to be ripped as fuck, and I want other people to see me ripped as fuck. There's no, I mean, like, that is yeah, there's probably some weird process in our mind that determines why we want that thing, but we don't need to even try.
That weird process. I wonder what it is. It's you're getting close. You're getting warmer.
Some weird process that's probably not biological. It's just some weird process in your brain, right?
The process ends in gender euphoria. A very a very hard, like, distinct euphoria that you feel comes right after the orgasm. Come on, you're so close.
Try and categorize that. That's separate from somebody's ability to identify as who they are. That's what I think we're trying to get at here. There's a consistent complaint.
It's not the same.
All of this.
Imagine if you could get as much sex as you wanted just by becoming a big, fat, disgusting pig.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't life would be so much more meaningful?
I mean, you can if you're like super rich, I guess.
Yeah, but then you got to work to get the money. What if you were poor and disgusting? Sitch.
And then you're screwed.
We need to change the social
fucked,
construct.
Yep.
We need to change the social construct. Come on. Disgusting poor losers need to get lots of play. How do we change the entire structure of reality, Sitch? Please help me.
We say it's all social construct, and we call people bigots for not having sex with fat blobs.
What were you talking about? About like
that's how you do it.
How it has to be like you have to have some sort of authoritarian dictator enforcing this stuff, just to get to that level.
But that's with a lot of that's with the whole fat shaming, body positivity nonsense. It's all like this trying to shoehorn this idea in it that everyone knows is bullshit.
Body positivity, exactly.
When my doctor looks at me and I'm obese and tells me it's unhealthy, they're just being fat phobic, okay?
Yeah.
I can be super obese and still healthy. Like, science is created by white, cisgendered empiricism that are also empirical and Western centric.
Yeah, crazy.